welcome to the Meeple Mentor YouTube channel. I'm Jared, and today we're doing an unboxing of Board & Dice's latest game, Nucleum. This is a game by Simone, Luciani, and David Turczi, and solo mode by David Turczi. These are really prolific, game designers for heavy Euro games. So this is, I can tell just by the weight of this box, this is going to be a really tight, really awesome, fun, heavy Euro game. This is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays an hour to 3 hours. So let's take a look at what it says on the back, and then we'll get right into opening up a new copy here and see what comes inside a game of Nucleum. So it says, when Elsa von Frühlingfeld used recently isolated uranium to heat up a jar of water and then used the steam to power the engine in a process she called atomization, a new era of energy has dawned. Her device called Nucleum made Saxony the hub of European science and engineering. Now, a generation later, inventors, engineers, and industrialists flock to the court to become the leader in this new industrial revolution. Become the leader of the Industrial Revolution, connect cities in order to construct buildings and energize them using nucleums and uranium from the mines you built. Fulfill contracts and unlock technologies for your unique asymmetric faction to meet the milestone objectives set by the king and become the best industrialist. So lots going on there. I like there's a lot of cool background to it. It says Nucleum is an expert tile placing and network building game that forces players to constantly adjust their strategy while playing. Each turn, play an action tile either on your player board or on the map, or decide to recharge. Okay, let's open it up. Take a look. I can tell there's going to be a lot of stuff inside. So let's get right into it. It's got some really cool artwork so far that I'm a big fan of. Kind of this alternative history, stuff. I don't know how you call it, the steampunk almost. Okay, so you've got your rule book and full color, large, illustrated, how to assemble the power plant. All right. And a list of all the components. On the back, you've got an appendix of what the different icons mean. So very handy, very useful. There's examples in here, so a lot of good stuff. We have challenges. Okay, it's just kind of a one sheet. So you can check these off when you accomplish these by playing. Like place a milestone marker on the top spot, 40 energy of the milestone track. So just some different ways to get some length out of your game for hitting some challenges and goals. We have the Baron von Automat, which is the solo rulebook. So you can completely play it solo. Very cool stuff. All right, so we got those set aside. We've got a whole bunch of baggies, so there's going to be a lot of content here to sort later. We've got some cards. Let's take a look here at some of these cards and see what we're looking for. We've got blue and red decks. I'm guessing some of these are automa or solo cards type thing to help you play the solo game. And then the blue ones here look like locations, perhaps. Or could be to help set up certain parts of the board, and these might come out each round, something like that. All right, so that's these, and one of these fell back in there. Okay. Then we've got some wooden components, like some green cubes. All right, so these are, your standard wooden cubes painted green. Feels good. We've got some colored discs here. Also wooden pieces with some screen printing. So like these wooden ones these black ones rather, have the red screen printing flag or something. And then we've got a color for, I'm sure, each player to track victory points maybe, or other things. Just put these back in because I think we're going to need all this table space. Set that aside. Okay. And we've got player color pieces. So I think these are fans or wind turbines or something of that nature. Okay, we've got screen printing on one side of these. You've got a number of these fan-looking tokens, which are quite chunky, pretty thick there. Feel good in your hand. They're nice. They're wooden painted pieces with some screen printing. They're looking good. And then we've got, what are these? Some screen printing on one side of these as well with like this nuclear reactor, maybe. You can see that. Looks like one for each player. Set those aside. Then we've got some wooden star pieces. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per player. So I wonder if it's kind of like achieving goals or maybe area control, claiming certain areas on the board. I'm not sure. But that's those for each player. We've got some wooden colored meeples. Quite a few here. In all the different player colors. So I don't know if I want to count all these, but there's quite a few. They've got these hard hats on. So these are like probably, you know, electrical line workers or engineers, right? These are pretty good. They're about the same size as a normal meeple, but cut in a unique shape, which is cool. We have a D6. Can I get it open? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, we've got another bag of wooden pieces. Let's take a look at those. All right. So we've got these 3 rectangular cubes. Of course, they're not a cube, but rectangular pieces. These are not screen printed, so I'm not sure their use right now. I've not played the game, but I'm quite excited to try it. Then it looks like we've got some reference cards. Let's take a look at these. Okay, so we've got technologies overview. It says experiment A, B, C, and D. So I wonder if that's maybe the player asymmetry they were talking about. And on the back, on your turn, choose one, and then auxiliary actions, completed rail lines, and then what triggers the end of the game. And then there's another set of overviews here. This is describing the various actions you can take: develop, contract, urbanize, industrialize, and energize. And then a recharge turn, which it mentioned on the back of the box on how to do a recharge. And I'm sure that involves, you know, gaining resources perhaps based on what you've got out there, or collecting your stuff back. Okay, then we've got a whole bunch of cardboard to assemble. This is kind of different. All right. It's got a QR code on it, so maybe this will tell you, like, watch the video on how to assemble these. But I imagine, you know, we're going to have a series of interconnected paths to make with these boards. They are labeled, like this has a J on it, this has an L on it, so there's definitely going to be some assembly required before the game gets started. I'm not sure. I've never seen components like this where, you know, just quite like that. Maybe Monster Slaughter had some stuff like that, but not quite the same. Let's take a look. What's next in our unboxing discovery? So first, we've got a sideboard, I guess. All right, so you've got kind of these multipliers and kind of points on the side here. Some iconography. There's the flag icon again. A couple of these locations. So a lot of interesting stuff to sort of go over. Maybe this is how you can get more contracts, or, you know, move your tokens up and stuff like that. I'm not sure. But nice high color imagery there. we've got a dual-sided board. Okay. Let's see. So we got our victory point track around the edge of the board. We've got some iconography for 2 or 3 players, I imagine. So the other side is probably the 4-player side. And nope, this says 3 to 4. So the other side it is 1 to 2. You got different locations, kind of like Power Grid or Brass Birmingham or something like that. And then you can see these tracks is partly, network building game. So you're going to make connections here. Yeah, a couple different areas with some iconography, all interesting stuff that is not going to be explained in this unboxing video, but cool. All right, and then let's just take a quick peek at the back. So 1 to 2 player side, naturally. All right, there's some of the differences there, and I'll just leave this while we take a look at some of the other components in the box. Okay, so we've got some player boards, and let's take a look at some of these differences between the boards. I don't see much difference here. So I think the asymmetry comes in other forms. That's okay. These are, of course, notched on the sides. You can kind of see that. And on the top. They are also dual layer. So, there's slots here to put tiles and pieces and little tokens that go up there. All right. So you're going to need a lot of table space, given how large these boards are, and of course the main board and that sideboard. Okay, lots going on. Let's take a look at some of the last bits of the box. We've got punch outs. So this is all a cardboard that you're going to spend an hour or more punching out and sorting. Okay, let's see if we can open it carefully. Okay. Nucleum. All right. So we've got buildings and infrastructure, I assume here, based on color. Maybe it could be player colors, just kind of like a Brass Birmingham situation. On the back, we've got some other iconography on like points and whatnot. The front have some like energy symbols going on. Okay. Got some more, and then some, hazard tokens. We've got some of these vertical aligned pieces here. Some hex tokens with like the green cubes on it. We've got some money to punch out. Okay, lots to punch and sort for sure. Okay. Here, these I imagine are some of the contracts that you need to fill. So, route building and contract fulfillment. Got money there to punch out. Okay, building some train tracks. You can see like the train rail there. We've got some star tokens. Not sure what those are going to be used for yet. Some unique contract fulfillment stuff. Then we've got these. So another thing that's going to be taking up some space on each player board, I imagine, to the side. And you'll be placing these out, I guess, to connect the end of your board to these tracks. Okay, got your $5 coins. You've got some more of these for each player, some more smaller star tokens. Star tokens, $5. We've got this first player token. It's like the sun coming up over or setting over the city. And then these, which I imagine are to be built up little nuclear reactors and smokestack. So I wonder if one of these gets the smokestack. And then you've got the 200 and 100 point going around the victory point board, tokens for, going off the board. All right. So with all the baggies and the pieces here, that is everything inside Nucleum. There's a lot to look at and a lot to punch out and sort later here. Not a whole lot of cards to this game. It's mostly these cardboard pieces and wooden pieces. But there's a lot of it, and so yeah, it is quite a heavy game, both physically and I'm sure gameplay wise. So stay tuned to the channel to stay tuned on our thoughts on the game. We're going to play it a few times and then do a review later. So stick around, make sure to subscribe so you see that. And yeah, we regularly publish reviews and unboxings and things like that. And we've got a podcast that you can check out. So definitely stick around on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jared, and I guess we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.